Hello guys, Andreas here. Today I want to show you all the new stuff I have created over the last few months. And maybe you have already noticed that the UI has changed a little bit. It's still old school, I know, but I like it. And the first thing I want to show you is the new UI color editor, so that you guys can at least change all the colors of the UI. So let's get started. And here you can see all the different settings you have available for this editor. And I don't want to explain all the different settings, but I can show you some predefined color profiles I have already created. So, for example, this one or this one. And as you can see, these profiles looks very different. And by the way, you can create your own color profile if you want. Okay, and now we have a closer look how it looks in-game. Okay, here we are, and if you ask me, the UI looks now much better, so in my opinion. And we have some new UI elements or UI displays, so for example here down below, for the game markers, you can turn on and off different markers. You can save some custom positions, and you have access to the different main buildings if available. And here on the top you see all the different informations about the resources, storages, energy buildings, metal extractors, including the capacity and the health value, but also for the vehicle production. So for example, if I start to produce some vehicles here and in this factory, then you will see all the information also here in this little display. So that's nice to have. You can anytime load another UI color profile by pressing a key. And then you see a list with all the saved color profiles, and then you select the one you want to use. So that's easy. And there's a nice function to turn on and off the light imitation. So if I press a key, you will see that the light imitation is going on and off. So nice to have. Maybe you have already noticed this little eye icon on most of the displays. That means information. And if you click the icon, you see an information screen. But currently, as you can see, there is no information saved. So that's a lot of work for me to fill all the informations from the different parts of the UI. If you create some ammo or fuel from storage, so for example 500 ammo and 1k fuel, confirm, then you will see now a small progress bar here in the top of the screen. And that makes sense at this point, I think. Now some words about the camo color. So basically, if you start a new mission, you have to select the camo color you want to use for this mission. And then you cannot change this anymore, because the camo color profile is saved into the mission file. But now you can. So I will go back to the main menu and open up the camo color editor. And by the way, this editor has also changed a little bit, as you can see. But anyway, we now select the camo color profile we want to use. Maybe this one here. Confirm. And now we load the mission again. And as you can see here down below, there is a little checkbox. Untick this checkbox and load the mission. And then we will see the same mission is loaded, but the mission is using a complete different camo color profile. So I like this function. There are two new buildings available, and the first one is the data center, so this one here. And once the data center is installed, you have access to all the data from your buildings, vehicles, turrets, and so on. But please note, the whole functionality around this building is currently not ready. So I can show you the data display. It looks like this here. Here you can see all the different buildings. You can switch over to all the turrets or vehicles. But you can see also all the data about the metal spots inside your radar range. So maybe that's all interesting stuff. We will see. The second new building is the rocket station, so this little guy here. And this building makes satellite communication available for you. So that means once the rocket is started, it takes some minutes until the satellite is online. And then, you have communication over the whole map without any restrictions. But, it's more an end game building because it needs a lot of resources. But anyway, we can start the rocket. And then you will see a progress bar that shows you the time until the satellite is online. Okay. There is a new function for vehicle factories. So basically, if you select the vehicle factory, you see the rally position and you can simply change this position. But now you can save as many rally positions as you want for each factory. So simply change the rally position and hit this little button here. Okay, in the background, the AI is attacking our base, I think. Anyway, and now you set a new position and save this. And another one, and maybe another one. And now the selected vehicle factory has, in this example, 4 different rally positions. And now, you can use these positions to produce vehicles. I think you get the idea. And by the way, there is an option to reset the whole production for the selected vehicle factory simply by pressing this button. And then, the whole production is cancelled. And you can, for example, delete all the rally positions again. Now it's much easier to build a wall because there is a new wall builder function. So you start simply by selecting the wall element, or this guy here, and then build the wall by left-click the mouse. How easy is that? And so on. And there are two ways to dismantle wall elements again. So the first way is to simply select the wall element and hit the dismantle button. The second way is a kind of a dismantle brush. But this brush works only for walls. So I activate the brush and then simply press and hold down the left mouse button. You can now relocate your turrets if you want. So for example, if you want to have this turret in front of the wall and not behind the wall, then you simply press a key and then, you can rotate the turret, whatever, and place it at a new position. So that's a very useful function. And if you have selected the wrong one, right-click the mouse to set the turret back to the original position. And so on. And this function is also available for most of the buildings, except the main base and the radar building. So for example, if you want to reorganize your base a little bit, so I mean, you can relocate all these storage buildings, for example, and then these buildings have a more saved location. So it's now also possible to change the attacking area after a turret is installed. So for example, select this turret, you see the attacking area, and if you want to protect your buildings a little bit from friendly fire, then you can change now the attacking area. And that was not possible before. And you can use this function also for your vehicles, not only for rocket launchers and artillery systems. And that makes sense because, if you are not careful, it can happen that the artillery is fire into your base. So for example, if there is any enemy. So simply select the vehicle and change the attacking area. Now I'll show you how the unit damage system works so far. So for example, this unit has no damage, so fully health. And now we spawn a static target and see what happens. Maybe here. And here we can see where the bullets are hitting the target. Mostly in the center of the the center of the target, so as you can see. Now we delete this target and set some damage to the unit. Maybe like this. And now we spawn a new target. And see what happens now. Come on, guy. And as you can see, it's not as accurate as before, because the unit is damaged. Now we can set more damage to the unit. And as you can see, as from a certain level of damage, the unit starts to burn. And that means once the vehicle is burning, the health is going down and down and down. So that means at the end the unit will destroyed. Okay, now we need a new target. And as you can see, our unit has problems to hit the target. And by the way, that system works also for all the different turrets. And now we go on with the potgun, because I have made some larger changes to this system. And the potgun is a support system in Hyperwar. So if you select the potgun, you will see all the different available pots for this gun. And the basic pots are the health pot, the ammo pot, and the fuel pot. And for each of them, there is an advanced pot or an advanced version available. So for fuel, ammo, and health. And I will show you that in a second. So then there is a recycle pot and a pot that can shoot mines. If you have selected the health pot, and that's true by default, so this one here, then you will see immediately a marker on top of each unit or building that needs support. And the number is showing you how many pots are needed to fully repair this unit, for example. And then, left click to fire a pot to this location. And as soon as you switch over to the ammo pot, you will see a yellow marker on top of the units that needs ammo. And the same is true for fuel. You see a blue marker. If you switch over from a regular pot to an advanced pot, then you will see how drastically the range is increased. So now we can simply reach all the units outside the building range. But please note at this point, in comparison to the regular pot, you need more pots, for example, to fully repair a unit. And the pot needs a bit longer to reach its destination. The recycle pod is a long-range pod, so an advanced pod. So simply select this pod and find a nice spot with some racks, for example here, and then fire one or more pods to this location. And then, these pods starts to recycle all the fracks here. So that's cool. If you select the mines, so this one here, then the pod gun will not fire a pod, but all the mines inside that pod. And each pod can carry 10 mines. So you can select this one, and now you see an area marker. That means 10 mines will get a random position inside that area. And if you confirm this location, then you will get a new area marker for the next 10 mines. And if you are ready, right click and then the gun will begin to fire all the mines. In this case, 30 mines. If you press and hold down the key for game markers, then you will see all the mines the gun has fired. And all the mines has a cooldown time, so that means after some minutes all the mines will disappear and you have to place new ones. So you can see also a small progress bar that shows you the time until a mine disappears. Now we can spawn some enemies here to see how it looks. Oh. The largest change I have made for the pod guns is the automatic mode. So if you select a pod gun, you can switch over to the automatic mode settings display, so this one here. And here you can see all the settings you have available, and by default all settings are active. So simply press the active auto mode button, and now this pod gun works automatically. And first it will search for vehicles or buildings that needs health support, then ammo, and then fuel. And if you have more than one pod gun installed within your base, then for example you can set it up like this. So the first one maybe only uses health support. The second one only uses ammo. Activate. And the third one only fuel. So that's only an example. And it's important to know that you must have enough resources available, otherwise the pod guns will not work, of course. So I think that's a very cool feature. Now some news about all the different cameras in Hyperwar, because I have created one new camera, and that's a kind of a cinematic camera. And the default camera, of course, is the so-called RTS camera. So this camera is not attached to anything. and then we have 3 different vehicle cameras, I will say. So if you have selected any vehicle and maybe you set the waypoint for this vehicle there, and then you activate the first camera, that's the following camera. This camera is attached to the vehicle. Okay, nothing special. The next camera is the outside camera. So this one. And this camera is attached to the turret. And the third one is the inside camera. So this one. And this camera is not attached to the turret. So that means if we have an enemy here, okay, you see the turret is turning, but not the camera. And that's different if you select the outside camera, this one. We now have an enemy here. You see that the camera is turning with the turret. Okay, that's the basic cameras. And normally you cannot control a unit if you are using any of these cameras. So that works only with the RTS camera. So if I select the unit and send a new waypoint, then you know if you activate the following camera, for example, it was not possible to do anything, only change the camera. But now you can simply right click and can give at least a waypoint to this unit, to the selected one. So that works now. That works also in outside view. Or inside view. So also nice to have. The new camera is a cinematic camera, but you know it's a very simple cinematic camera. But anyway, I like it. So and this camera needs 3 different inputs: a start position, an end position, and a position where the camera is looking at. That's very simple. Press and hold down the left control key, then left click to set the start location, left click to set the end location or position, and another click to define the location where the camera is looking at. And then the camera will start immediately. And now you will see a kind of a progress bar here down below that shows you the time until the sequence is finished. So you can go back to the start position with pressing the home key. You can change the speed of the camera by moving the mouse wheel. And you can change the rotation of the camera, the height, and the pitch. Then you know you get maybe some very nice looking camera sequences. And as soon as you press escape, you come back to the RTS camera. And an additional function is the settings screen. So if I find a new cinema camera here, there is a settings button, and all these settings are only valid for this type of camera. So whatever I set here, maybe colors, more plume intensity, and hit confirm, then these settings are only valid for this type of camera. So if I go back to the RTS camera, I have the default settings, the normal settings, and if I create a new cinematic or cinematic camera, then you will see that these settings now are used. So escape, then you know it makes fun to play around with it. And so on. So I like this. Okay, and now we come to the last part of this video, and in this part I want to show you a new settings menu. So if you start a new skirmish mission, then you will see this new settings menu. And here on the left side you select the map you want to use, and currently there are 10 different maps available. Then you can select the camo color profile for your own units, and of course for the enemy units. And you can select a flag for the friendly and the enemy units too. Here we have all the main settings, like the difficult level or the research speed, how many metal you get back if you recycle a frag, for example, and so on. You can set if you want to delete all frags after a couple of seconds, then you set it like this. Same for decals. You can turn on and off the vehicle tracks. This can save you some performance. And we have the day-night cycle. You can set the day length, night length, or if you want to set at the fixed daytime, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning. So, and the dynamic fog and the intensity. Here we have all the settings about resources. And here we have all the settings about AI. You can load and save settings, and currently you cannot change anything here because we have set a predefined difficult level. So there are different ones, and if you select the custom one, then you know you can change every setting here. Whatever. A very significant setting is this one here, ammo fuel. That means this setting changes overall the gameplay. The setting full means you need ammo and fuel to produce units and turrets, but also you have to make sure that the units and turrets have always enough fuel and ammo. But otherwise, you know, a unit or a turret cannot fire, or a unit cannot move anymore if it runs out of fuel. The second setting is build only, and that means you need ammo and fuel only to build a turret and or a vehicle. Once the vehicle is created, then this unit has unlimited fuel and ammo. And the last setting is disabled, so that means you don't need any ammo and fuel, only metal. And if you have set this option to disabled, then you can see that, for example, the fuel and the ammo is completely disabled here in the top of the screen. You have only metal available. Or if you select the main base, storages for ammo and fuel are not available. And also if you select the bot gun, you have only health spot or health spots available, but nothing about ammo and fuel. But please note at this point, if you have disabled ammo and fuel, all the units and turrets will cost a lot of more metal. So that's important to know. Okay guys, that's all. I hope you liked the video, and if you want to see some new Skirmish gameplay, let me know in the comments. Okay, bye.